How's it going, everyone? David from dodmedia. I recently reviewed the Freewell MistGlow filters, which are fantastic filters to add a little bit of halation to your image and soften it a little bit so it doesn't look too digital. And Freewell reached out to me following that review and said they've got something cooking and would I be interested in trying it out? And I thought anything that Freewell is excited about launching, I definitely want to be a part of. And so here it is, the world's first ND2, ND2 to 5 variable, ND6 to 9 variable, ND32 with circular polarization and mist or no mist options. Oh, and it's magnetic. So this kit allows you to do some pretty special stuff. You've got a base ring. This is going to be the brains of the whole thing. This is where everything operates from, and you mount this to your lens. In fact, let's mount it to my lens right now. I've got the 65 by Sigma on this test camera here, and we're going to be doing a little test shot there. This is not product placement. I've not been paid. I just like Diet Coke. So step-up rings because I opted for the biggest filter thread size I could, and then I can just have step-up rings on all my lenses so that they all equate to the same thing. It's not perfect, but it'll do for now. So we just screw this on. Lovely stuff. Then let's have a look. We've got a base plate. In fact, we've got two base plates. Let's take these out here. We've got 1 and 2 variable ND/CPL filters, and I'll leave that for now. So this comes with 2 base plates, a variable ND base plate and a variable ND mist base plate. Let's start with just the standard variable ND. Now what you're seeing here is intentionally overexposed. In fact, let's overexpose it a little bit more because it's gonna get dark. So that's at f2, 1/50th of a second, and 10,000 ISO, just because it is gonna get very dark with all of this, and I still want you to be able to see it without having to change the settings, just so you can see what it actually does. So the first base plate is gonna go in. This is the standard one. There's a little notch with a picture there, which lines up with a little notch with a picture on the filter holder. And so you just line those up and click, magnetic, lovely. So that is acting by itself as an ND2 filter, meaning it's cutting the amount of light going in by half, which means that it's reducing it by 1 stop of light. So then let's go ahead and add the first variable ND filter, which is the 2 to 5 ND. So on the filter, we've got an A and a little picture. On the holder, we've got an A and a little arrow. You line those up, click on magnetically, lovely stuff, and you'll notice it has hard stops. So I can cycle all the way across, but I'm never gonna get beyond that point where the image degrades and you get that dreaded X pattern from variable NDs, which is super common across all variable NDs that don't have a hard stop to stop you from going beyond the range of it. So let's go for the full range of this, and you'll see just what it does. Okay. Let's do that one more time. So that's at ND5. Now let's go ahead and remove this one. We're gonna add the 6 to 9 stop. Now, things are gonna get even darker here. Maybe I needed more light. All right, so this is by default ND6. Keep going down to ND9. I forgot my water. I just realized I brought water here to spray on that, give it a little bit of a, there we go. That'll do. That'll do. So you can see there's no X pattern happening because once again, the hard stops are limiting it from going beyond its range. Okay, so now let's go for ND32. So we'll put back on the 2 to 5, and then we'll add back on the 5 to 6 as well. And now if we turn this, that is ND32. That's a big difference. Okay, so now let's have a look at the circular polarizer function, which is pretty cool. Basically, instead of using this plate as a variable ND, you just turn it around until it says CPL. And now, if I twist this, you can see how it's affecting that image. You can see there, it is blocking out all unpolarized light. The glare on the can is gone. If I twist it back, the glare on the can comes back. Okay, so now let's try the mist base plate. So I just click that out from the tab. And same thing again, I just take the tab, align it up with the picture on the filter, and it clicks in. Lovely. So now we're gonna have some pretty heavy halation going on. So let's start with the variable 2 to 5. So we start turning it. Now I intentionally have a light that is essentially pointing into the frame so that we get some of that halation going on. Almost like a light leak in the top right corner there. So that is 2 to 5. All right, then let's go for the 6 to 9. So there it is at 6, all the way down to 9. So one of the things that I really like about Freewell is that they're a very forward-thinking company. And in being forward-thinking, they also thought backwards to their previous products. So for example, if I didn't want to have an ND2 plate in there, all I wanted to do was use those original MistGlow filters that I did a review about. Well, they happen to be the same filter size, which means that just slots in there. Nice and easy. Now let me bring down the ISO now so that you can actually see like what this looks like. And I can even add on the other filters that come with this MEGAPACK. So for example, I can use them as a polarizer and polarize out that unpolarized light. And then of course, because there are no filter threads on the front of this, you can't attach a lens cap to it. So the whole thing comes with this very nice magnetic glass. It's like a hard glass cap, which can also give you some pretty funky results if you want. Don't think that's meant to be used like that, but that actually looks pretty cool. So, do I recommend this kit? Yes, absolutely, for a number of reasons. The first reason is just the amount of variety that you get in it. If you were to buy all of these options, so a variable ND that does 6 to 9, a variable ND that does 2 to 5, you know, mist options, no mist options, basically you'd be paying upward of about $700 for the individual filters that would thread on and that you'd have to remove each time. Whereas having them in this combo set, I think they're selling it for $400. And if you want to support the campaign, the Indiegogo campaign, you can get it for even cheaper than that. So from the cost versus features argument, that's really good. That's high quality filters that have an ability to play all with each other and also be backwards compatible for previous filters that you might have gotten from them. As you could see in the examples we just shot, at no point did the image deteriorate. At no point did you get that X pattern. At no point was it soft. It was consistent throughout because they've built in the hard stops for each of these filters. Now, there was a bit of color cast, sure, and that's inevitable with any ND system. I've never seen an ND system that doesn't put a tiny bit of its own color cast on there, simply because you're putting several layers of glass in front of the lens. It is going to tone that somewhat. So to my mind, while there is a bit of color casting, that argument is a bit of a moot one. And the fact that they've provided this nice sort of quasi-hard case with plenty of slots in it to carry your filters with extra slots, because they thought people might want to bring their old filters too. I really like that. It really works for me. Nice and simple. I thought it would be cool and it didn't work because it doesn't have the base to hold that magnetic part, but that's fine. I'll stick those slots in there and those in there. We're done. All right, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to get your hands on this MEGAPACK from Freewell, I've left the link to their Indiegogo campaign in the description. You can get a discount, as I mentioned, if you go ahead and sign up to that campaign now. And otherwise, if you want to wait until they're in full production, it'll be about $400, which is a steal for all of the features that this packs into this tiny little case. All right, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.